Nekuda was, we're going to have the whole kitzah today. That's the advantage of not doing these things the last week. Basically, we covered that the idea is the Eibush created the world, all of it saying that was the first step to creation. That was good.
That's good. Thank you.
The Eibush created the world, all of it saying that was the first step to creation. The Eibush wouldn't all of it saying Shalom is before all of it saying is Bechlali has no shaykhs to anything. When a person does not want anything yet, he's removed. But the first step of going out of himself is wanting it. Even though I don't have any explanation why I want it, just the mere fact I want it. I explained last week the idea of wanting is beyond any explanation, because if I have a reason for it, it's not I want it, I need it. The idea of rotzen is I want it, and yeah and no is beshovin, but then I want it. Therefore it's explained in Chassidus that rotzen, I'm not caught up to what the thing is, it's rather only what I want. Therefore the whole teichet of the thing is that I want it and not what the thing is made up of. We explained it in Shalom last week. Yeah, fine. So that's what we said. That's the idea of Atchol say the Shtalshus thing of Keser, of Yevrotzen, all of B'Tzeynei. And we said because he wants it, it's already two steps. There's two things in it. The first step is when you want something, you know what you want. That means whatever you want is already included in the will itself. All of B'Tzeynei. That's a lotion in Miyad Shalom B'Tzeynei, Miyad Nishav, right when the Eibishter wanted, right away it was created. And there's another thing, that once things became created, actually happened to be in Eifen, not just the way they're in the Rotzen, they came to the Mitzvahs of Siris Datzilis. Once they come Siris Datzilis, they become Netz, out of this Gala, the Siris Protzes, Chochum, and Netzach, Alay Malchus. There too, there is the Rotzen is Makif. We explain the idea of Makif, not just that's higher, but it gives them a Kiyum, a Chizuk, it strengthens them, it's Makif Aleim. It gives them chizuk. Like we spoke levushim, it's not just the fact that I'm a way I could come out of myself, go speak to someone else. Rather, the levush is it's keeping the person whole, it keeps them sane. The difference in a homeless or you have a home is not just simply if he has a house or not. It's a different personality. You say a person buys a house. I didn't do it yet, but if you buy a house and then you get a tainug atzmi, what's the tainug atzmi? Veizach nicht. You got rocks, what's the tainug? He comes to himself. He's tainug from himself. He comes to his real self. Before that he didn't have it, and now he has it. That's the mile of a makif, a bais. What did it give to him in his understanding, his feelings? It's beyond that, it's deeper than that. It strengthens his whole being, like we spoke last time. Yeah. So he started saying how Rotzen is a memutza. Between the person and the outer world, the things outside of him, he needs Rotzen. Before that, before he ever wanted, he's removed. He started saying the same thing Lamayla. Because before the Eibishter wanted the yin of Elamis, the Eibishter is beyond, the Eibishter doesn't need anything. And the Eibishter decided he wants Elamis, he, so to speak, he went out of himself to have a connection. Out of himself, the idea of wanting a Elam. He gave a mashal for that in a person's life. How a person, before, give two dugmois. He said, the idea of pleasure, a person has pleasure with himself. The ultimate idea of pleasure is with himself. Any other pleasure is really not the ultimate pleasure. It's only ha'oras ha'tainug. It's a pleasure of something. It's called tainug amurkov. But the ultimate idea of tainug is tainug atzmi. The person is misanig be'etzem atzmusi, which really, who has this tainug? Someone that's in touch with that part of him, that's living that, so to speak. We spoke the of reimus of a king, which is removed from anything, and that's who we choose for a king, not someone that has an agenda or has his smart man or a nice guy. It's someone that's removed, detached from his ego, so to speak. He's detached from any selfish motive. Therefore, he could be the one, and that's what people want. They should rule over them. That's what they want. They should be their king. And he should take them under his wing. That he should also bring them to this state of life. Because or else, everyone's selfish. So this king is living this idea, his essence. Therefore, he could have pleasure, the ultimate pleasure with himself, which is he's removed. He's not connected with any outer concept. He's connected with himself, with his real self, with his essence, which we explained. It's even higher than himself. It's himself the real self, not even attached to the, let's say, the Akshomadik self. In Avedis Hashem, that's the whole thing of Avedis Hashem. When we serve the Eibishter, when we're not conscious of ourselves, we try to be conscious of the Eibishter a little bit. That's the idea of Yiras Shamayim, Yiras Chet. Same idea that has place for the Eibishter. So that's the idea of timing is removed. And the same thing is said in Ratzon also, he's removed. It's before he ever wanted anything. But he's in a good mood. And from that, any will come. Like the Kohen Ratzon, have the will of wanting. That means he's in such a comfortable place, he could want anything. He's not wanting anything yet. He has the Kohen Ratzon. He's not experiencing, he's not expressing it. It's not going anywhere. Like we said last time, Ratzon is Eisis Tziner. He's nimshach to a certain place. Mashenka before, then the Etzem Kohen Ratzon is Merutza. So that's within himself. So that's before he came and touched anything. Lamaila, it's before it was in Seder for Elamus in any way of level. After that, here's where we're holding. After the brackets, 6 lines from the top over here, the end of the line, 7 lines. V'kasher, and Amud Gimel, v'kasher, ola b'rtzeini yizborech. And when the Eibishter decided to want Elamus, harei ze b'chinas hamshocha v'gilui el klol seishtalse b'chlal. So now is when the Eibishter is relating to the general ishtalshlis, oy el eiz elam bifrat, or if we're speaking about a keser from a elam proti, the way the Eibishter becomes a mokar keser datzilis, or keser de bria, that's where he is a mokar, a rotzen for this elam. How can you say that with this he's getting closer to elamis? He's still removed from elams, even though he wants. He's still removed. Even though that with the will itself, with the rotzen itself, he's not shaykh to create. It's only what he wants. Let's understand why it's higher than the whole idea of creation in any level of rotzen. Because when, like we explained before, what's the idea of wanting? I want the thing. It's not relating to what the thing is. So what's the idea of his havos on the other hand? Creation means something new, something not me. Something that doesn't see its connection to me. That's the idea of creation. So from Rotzen to have creation is like an oxymoron. If he's Reitzef, the whole Teichen of the thing is what I want it, he doesn't go out of himself. He's not Mesiachas Ladover. So if we would be created from the level of Rotzen, what would we feel ourselves? We're completing the Eibishter's Rotzen. We're Mashlim the Rotzen Elyon. Our whole existence is just to complete the Eibishter's will. That's what we are. The Eibishter completed his will by making us. Would we feel ourselves separate from the Eibishter? We wouldn't feel ourselves. That's what it says in the Gate La'osidlov. It says, V'shom, this is a side track. It says, V'shom naitzel fanecha ke mitzvahs ritzinecha. Mashiach comes, we're going to do mitzvahs the way the Eibishter wants. What's the pshat? And now we don't do it. So it's explained in Chassidus. Because when Mashiach comes, we're going to do mitzvahs only because the Eibishter wants. That's one level. Then there's another level. It says in the Gea, Mashiach comes, mitzvahs b'telis la'osidlovi. The mitzvah are going to be bottle when Mashiach comes. So in this, the question, what do you mean going to be bottle? We're not going to have to put on tefillin anymore. The Eibishter doesn't want me to put on tefillin. What's pshat mitzvahs b'telis? So in this, there's a few explanations. One explanation is that b'liyachas to the revelations that when Mashiach comes, the putting on tefillin, all the mitzvahs protis that we have today is going to be kishrage b'tiyara, like a candlelight in the daylight. Bottle. That's pshat b'telis. Not that we're not going to do it, it's b'telis. That's one explanation. The Rebbe explains the deeper explanation. Mitzvahs b'telis la'osidlovei. There's not going to be shaykh a mitzvah. There's not going to be shaykh a tzivui. There's not going to be shaykh commandment. The whole idea of commandment is when you have someone that's not me. I have to command them to tell them to do something. But the whole Mashiach will come with this galav and it will be revealed the whole world. What are we? We are the Eibishter's will. How did we come to be? Because the Eibishter wanted to make us, and that's why we're here. That's our whole existence. Our existence is the Eibishter's will. So when the Eibishter wants, we should put on film. Automatically, we'll put on film. We don't need a mitzvah. The mitzvah, the idea of commanding, that's botelos lovi. There's no such thing as going out of himself. This will be Gilui Ratzon. It'll be higher.
So it's Havas Ratzon. It can be.
That's what it can be. Is Havas Mea Ratzon. That's the word from will. Will itself is beyond creation. It's not giving place for something other than myself. That's why we had to go through the whole Seder Shtalshus from Ratzon Alein noch Gevon Kinis Havas. Nothing happened. Nothing came to existence yet from will itself. It had to come down. The Seder Shtalshus of Chochmah and until Malchus. That itself also wasn't enough. But here he goes in. He's going Mulamayla.
If you say that Ratzon is for a certain thing, so that means the idea of that thing had to exist even before the Ratzon.
That's lamata by us, because we don't create anything by wanting.
No, forget the creation. I mean, lamata, if I want this cup, so the cup has to exist, and I see it, it's a good cup, I can drink my coffee in it, so I want that cup.
Oh, yeah, no.
Lamaila,
yeah.
That means the musig of Eilamus has to exist.
By that moment.
Has to exist beforehand.
Why before? When he wants. That's when it comes to be. He's the source of everything.
Not the Metzias Eilamus. I'm talking about the
idea
musig of Eilamus.
Why can't you say
it has to? It has to be. It has to have a shadish higher than the Ratzin, because otherwise, what's the Ratzin? I mean, the Ratzin is on what? It doesn't exist yet. Where's my Ratzin? I have a Ratzin to create Eilamus. So where are those Eilamus? Where it doesn't exist yet.
Our will is very weak. It's practically nothing. Even though there's nothing. The source of everything is there. The Eibishter Betzim is nicht chaser gar nicht. Klum chaser. Von dem Yisborach. Atzu chayv hakel. Everything is. Rotzel Eilam is, he wants that there should be an idea of a Zulas.
But I'm saying that musig of a Zulas has to actually exist before the Ratzin, before the Mshach ever came out.
Why? Because else how can
you want it? It's not a musig because the Eibishter is not movable in the Chachma.
How can you want?
But there has to be whatever mitzad shleimus, mitzad whatever you want to call it.
What gives birth to the Ratzon?
Oh, very good. Lamato, when a person wants something, I'm missing it. I need it. I can't live without it. That's my Ratzon. I need this thing. Lamayel, the Eibishter has everything. He doesn't need nothing. What's the Ratzon over there? Where is he going? He's coming. It's outside. Where is he going? His first taich in Ratzon, what I want, is not the taich that he needs something, he's going to gain something. It's the Ratzon means only that whatever he wants, he gets. And the fact that's heder ha'hechrech, he's not forced into it. Nothing's forcing him. That's why I'm saying Ratzon l'mayla. Only the milas of Ratzon. Not he heard about this, oh, let me go get it. The word of Ratzon is b'reshusei. That's a bereish hu menusa de malk. It's b'reshusei. As he decided, this is what's going to be. It's not the touch I want. I'm sure it's not real. But Lepeil has this idea that Lepeil he's nason mokim now to this thing, not this thing.
Doesn't this give way actually to realizing Lepeil the Eibishter shleimus?
That's another thing. Why did Eibishter want to make a world? Is Gal Shleimus Keches of Poleso. That's the reason. Why did he want? If it's enough of an explanation, that's already going to the Yitzchayim, which say that's the reason why we call all the Bertzene Hogufe. We're not going to learn the whole Chassidus al regelachas. It's not going to fit.
I understand that, but in other words, there was something which caused this Ratzon.
What you're alluding to is that it says that Had the Eibishter Bechlal want Eilamis because he has something else in mind. He wants Rano Emlich. It's not Shaykh Malucha, only there's a Mitzvah. Mela all over Tzene, there should be Eilamis. And over there, should do Tere Mitzvahs. Fine, so there's something before, true. So everything is going to have to be a reason, till we're going to say Nesava. There's the idea of Eilamis and Sava Dirib Tachtenim Eilamis if you want, the way he saw Dirib Tachtenim and Eilamis, and then he wants, in order that...
help him to Dirib Tachtenim,
so therefore that caused already that he should want a Eilamis in order that they should be able to be Tachtenim.
Right.
True, okay, but weiter it's not, but the idea, the way Eilamis existed, and the Ratzon never existed. Over there is Dirib Tachtenim Eilamis, it's him. It's not, it's...
Okay.
So we made
Is this alluding to Soif Ma'aseh Machshavat Chila, or
it's connected. It's connected. It's very connected. It's very connected. All Machshavat Chila. It's a lifnei Chila Machshavat. You already had it in mind, but it's going to take us away, and we're never going to see where we're going.
Which means that the Ratzon wasn't for Elamis; it was for Neshamas Begufim.
The reason why he wanted the Ratzon for Elamis,
you need to have a tzimtzum for Elamis.
Right? Because if he wants to have we're speaking very good up, but in order that it should be nishlam the kavon of dirib tachtenim nesham Yisrael down here, there has to be metzius of Eilamis, metzius of Zulas. For that, was the Rotzen all Bertzeni, the Metzius of Elamis.
But next in the context here, the next thing he moves to is the Tzimtzum, because he knows that there can't be Elamis without Tzimtzum.
True. So but over there there's all Bertzeni Elamis. Mitzad the Kavone, mitzad that they're going to be a Shalom Sarotzen, there's going to be Gilul Kus in Elamis, the Kavone of Seder Ishtalshus, over there, that's the reason. I'm trying to focus. Even if you have Rotzen Elamis, but over there you have a different Taichin Elamis. In order to have practical Elamis that see themselves as a separate entity, in other words, in order that this Rotzen Shataka come to happen, you need to have a Tzimtzum. The Elamis should not feel the Rotzen, should not feel certainly the Rotzen the way it's in lifting at Tzimtzum, because you can't want something that's not you. Everything, the idea of wanting is me, and the level of the want, that's the level of the thing, that's what I see. That's what Lamaila, what's Teichen of Elamis, is this level of Rotzen. So therefore it's higher than his Havas Bepeil. And he gives the Dugma, we'll see inside. Kamei Ali is a Rotzen, der in Sof shall lifni at Tzimtzum. So first you had to make Tzimtzum, Shehu B'chinas Silu Ka'ir. Bichlal says that such a tzimtzum relation which is bichlal herzich nishtande, we should bichlal not know, not feel. The idea of Eisha lifnei at tzimtzum, it shouldn't feel, it shouldn't be revealed in order that the world should come to exist in any level. So you see, although he had a rotzen, and in a way that was the sibas at tzimtzum, but in order that Elamis should come to be bepeil, had gemuz zayin tzimtzum. So he's removed from Elamis. Even this is true also with Madriga Shalachar at tzimtzum. The fact of Rotzen itself is not enough that the world should come to exist. Shishkam tzimtzumim. Okay, made tzimtzum ak, the tzimtzum adikno. See, even though the ak is already at least by Rotzen for Elamis, but there be a tzimtzum for that, and later tzimtzum adikno is even lower tzimtzum. Mikoma came hareze bepchinas mamutz. Although that it's not enough, we didn't get close enough to the Elamis that from this itself should we have Elam, but it became a mamutz shenaisa begeder shaychas al Elamis shemezayis have Elamis. It's begeder shaychas Elamis. You should say that from here eventually Elamis will come from here, because all bertzeni sheyi Elamis. This is going to be the cause. Since he wants Elamis, this is going to be the cause that they should actually come to existence.
So this symptom he's talking about here is actually in the or.
Symptom there is misalim in every level.
It's at the kalim.
Yeah, good, richtig, beseder, yeah. Because he says B'chdeshi is Havas Elamis. So it's not clear who needs the tzimtzum. Elamis needs the tzimtzum.
But when he says that the tzimtzumim is shnasa or beget the shaychas elo Elamis,
that's already
from them is mashna that the tzimtzum is in the or itself, that the or should be begeder shaychas elo Elamis.
He's saying nice to begeder shaychas elo Elamis even before the tzimtzum. The mamutz happened by the etzam aliyas arotz. That's what he's saying of him. Mikoma came, although we need a tzimtzum, so it's not shaykh to Elamis. He says Mikoma came, it is a bechinas mamutz. It's already the etzam aliyas arotzen is a mamutz. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
That's not
okay. The rotzen itself is.
Oh, yeah. But for you, it's not bechlal. He's a gam over there. The whole taich of rotzen is a different taich. But in the end of the day, there is a rotzen. Mitzad the Eibush is bleak vul ein sof. He could want if he wants a want. This idea of wanting, let it be because of the ein sof of the Eibush there. But now that he wants, is already in a sin smoker for the end of Elamis. In a minute way. So that's a few things we know about the Rotzen now. Fine. Let's learn the Kitzer. Yakshe, he asked the question in the beginning, the Mashma. The Rebbe Rashab had two Svarim. He had a Sefer of the Hemshech and he had a Sefer of Kitzurim. If you look in the back. Civic Saviaten, there was two different Svarim. He had a Sefer from the Hemshech and a Sefer of Kitzurim. I think over here you have it. Yeah. Kuntras has Cholos v'siyumim, it's Tesis or something else. At Cholos v'siyum, but I think the Kitzurim, then there's a Kuntras HaKitzurim. You haven't paid Jud and they saw this page, but the Hemshech is, like there's three books, the Hemshech, and then there's the At Cholos v'siyumim, and then there's Kitzurim. Fine, it's interesting to know. Fine. Yaksha, he asks, the Mashma, Shashnei Ksorim, Mipnei Sheikdimu. Poshet the Maimon Azal, it says why you gave two Ksorim, because they were Magdim. Then he says, one's for nice, one's for nishma. And where did it go? The idea, the advantage that they were magdim is not mentioned in the Ksarim, L'chur, and the Hemshech of the Maimer Azal. Fine, one question. Next question he asks, Rabbi says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Neisen Shtei HaTorahs B'reish Bonov. Medrash says that the Eibush is the one giving the crowns to his children. And here in the Maimer Azal of Matan Torah it says, Yor the Malach HaShoros V'Koshru, that the Malachim gave them. Now the weiter sagt the Mishnah, the Avesisse, and the Mishnah above it says, Shleishik Soramim, there's 3 crowns. Ube Protius, Cheshev Dalek Soram. If you learn the Mishnah in detail, you see that there's 4 mention of 4, Cohen, Malchus, and then and Keser Teire, and also there's Keser Shemtev. So why does he say Keser Agim? So he said also the question, why is there 3? And also, why does the Mishnah not mention the 4th one as part of the Ksarim, as one of the numbers? So he started explaining how the 3 crowns are connected to Gimel Ksarim, the Gimel Kavim. The idea of a Kes, these Ksarim are connected with the 3 Kavim. Yamin, Smeil, and Emtza. The Chesed, the giving, Shpoah, Kuhn is the Yin of Chesed, and then the Yin of Gvur is the Yin of Melucha, the Yin of Helam, like we explained. And Teir is both. The Emtsoi, including both. So for this, he started going to the Hemshech, he yaked him in a Keser Bechlal. He gave Akdom what's Keser in general. He brought the Pardes, which says Gimel Pirushim Bekeser. Here he quotes, sums it up as 3 Pirushim. Aleph, Loshnam Tone, he's awaiting. Vuhu, awaiting encompasses within the 2 parts. Ha'akove, I'm holding myself back, I'm not exploring yet. And also Va'atikve, that I'm awaiting, eventually there'll be what to explore, what to get involved. Beis, another Taichin Kesser, says Loshnat Torah, a crown, which means it's higher than anything else. It's the head of all the Levushim.